UFC Rio. These are my full card predictions and breakdown. I'm excited to break down this whole entire card and give you guys my picks. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into the first fight of the night. So first fight of the night, we got Simon Oliveira taking on Lacerda. I'm going Lacerda in this fight. I think he's better on the feet. Oliveira, he's got decent striking on a 3-fight losing streak. Both of these guys are on losing streaks. Lacerda's lost 2 in a row. But I don't know. I think Lacerda's striking is a little too powerful for Oliveira. I think he's going to overwhelm him with shots, be on the front foot, pressure Oliveira back against the cage. And I think he'll probably squeeze out a decision win. I don't think it'll be like a dominant performance, but I do think Lacerda is going to be able to do enough to get this one done. Simon Oliveira, he's just coming off that loss against David Martinez. Before that, Marcos and Tony Gravely before that. Lacerda, he's coming off the loss against Blackshear. Before that was Cody Stamen. But Lacerda, his striking is still, he's got like kind of like almost like an awkward Muay Thai style striking, I would kind of describe it as. He carries a lot of pop in his shots, and I think he's going to be able to catch Oliveira on the feet. I don't think he's going to knock him out, though. I think he's going to kind of pepper him up with shots and win a decision. Oliveira, he could land a little bit on the feet, mix in the clinch work, but I do think Lacerda is going to be able to get it done. The odds on this fight, we got Lacerda sitting at a -260, and Simon Oliveira is the +120. Lacerda should be able to get it done. I'm going decision for Lacerda. Decision? Yeah. I'm going to go decision. I do think he squeezes out a unanimous decision win. Next fight of the night, we got Julia Polastri taking on Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I probably said that wrong, but Julia Polastri is going to be too strong, too powerful. I think Karolina is nothing impressive on the feet. She looks slow. She looks sluggish. And I think Polastri is going to be a little too fast, too powerful. And even if this fight goes to the ground, Polastri is going to be able to dominate. And I think all around, Julia Polastri is going to absolutely whoop Karolina. This is an easy pick for me. And I think everybody else, it's an easy pick for. She's a -450 favorite. And Karolina Kowalkiewicz is a +350. Julia Polastri, I think, does get it done. I could see her potentially getting a finish in this fight. I think she could potentially finish her. She'll probably land something big on the feet. I think she carries a decent pop in her shots. She is coming off that loss against Lupita where she looked all right. She didn't look great. Lupita was able to just control her. But in this fight, Polastri should be able to get it done. I think Polastri dominates Karolina in this one. Next fight of the night, we got Volter Walker taking on Mohammed Usman. This is another easy pick for me. I think Volter Walker is going to fucking destroy Mohammed Usman. Volter Walker is going to be too long, too lengthy, and he's going to be cracking on the feet. He's going to want to get this fight to the ground, and he will. And I think he's going to be able to do it with ease. I think he probably is able to squeeze a decision or a submission. I think he could wrap up maybe a rear naked choke or something like that. I think Volter Walker is going to be able to dominate Mohammed Usman. Usman, he's got decent striking. Not that decent. It's pretty fucking mid, honestly. It's nothing impressive. He's a little stiff on the feet, but he does got some pop, and I don't see him being able to use it against Walker, though. Usman is coming off that win against Abdul Wahab, where he was able to win the decision, but did he look that great in that fight? He looked all right. He was able to squeeze it out. He was getting touched with some shots, though, on the feet. But in this fight, Volter Walker should be able to stay at the distance, touch him up on the feet, pepper him up with some straight shots. And then when he wants to get the fight to the ground, he will. He'll probably end up getting a submission win over Usman. That's what I would assume. The odds on this fight, we got Volter Walker sitting at a -315, and Mohammed Usman is the +265. So Usman is a pretty big underdog, and I don't see him winning the fight. I do think Walker is going to be able to wrap him up in a submission. I'm gonna probably say second round. I'm going to go a second-round sub for Volter Walker. I think he's able to get the fight to the ground, get it done. Next fight of the night, we got Rocha taking on Stuart Nicoll. And this is an interesting fight. I was a little back and forth. I feel like this is going to be a close one, but I am leaning towards Stuart Nicoll in this one. Rocha, he's got decent shots on the feet. He's got all right ground game. I feel like he is susceptible to some takedowns. I think he does be getting taken down a little bit. He's coming off that loss against Clayton Carpenter, where Carpenter kind of just was able to come forward on him, a little more active on the feet. He was able to get him to the ground and wrap up that submission. And in this fight with Stuart Nicoll, I think Stuart is going to be able to take down Lucas Rocha in this fight. And I could see him getting a submission win over Lucas Rocha. I am going Stuart Nicoll to win this fight. I think he subs up Lucas Rocha. I would say maybe Lucas Rocha is a little bit quicker on the feet, a little bit faster. Stuart Nicoll is not bad on the feet, but I do want to see him get this fight to the ground. I think he's going to be able to do that. He's going to maybe be mixing in some calf kicks and touching a little bit on the feet, but he's mainly going to be wanting to mix up the strikes with the takedowns, and I think he's going to do just that. So I'm going to go Stuart Nicoll to win the fight. Stuart is coming off that loss against Aguilar where he got guillotined, but before then he was looking pretty decent, but then he just got wrapped up in that fucking guillotine and it was over. The odds is Lucas Rocha sitting at the -120, -121, and Stuart Nicoll is the +101. So Stuart Nicoll is the slight underdog, but it is a pretty close line, and it is gonna be a close fight. Like, this is a pretty even matchup, I would say, but I'm gonna lean towards Stuart to be able to get it done. Stuart Little, I'm going for Stuart Little to win the fight, and I think he's able to get a submission, honestly. I'm gonna go submission for Stuart Nicoll. Next fight of the night, we got Irina Alekseeva taking on Beatriz Mesquita. And in this fight, I'm going Beatriz all day. Easy. Irina, we could say she's even maybe got a little bit better striking, but Beatriz is going to just use those fucking takedowns, get the fight to the ground, and we could either see a boring decision win for Beatriz, or we'll see her get a submission win over Irina Alekseeva. Alekseeva, she's so mid. Both of these girls are mid. Neither of them are that good. But I do think Mesquita's got the better grappling. Her grappling is solid, and I see her being able to beat Irina Alekseeva. Alekseeva is coming off 2 losses, Melissa Mullins and Claudia Segula. But in this fight with Beatriz, I think she's going to pick up a 3rd loss in a row. She's just going to get outgrinded, probably get submitted, or a boring decision. I'm not sure, but Mesquita is going to be able to get the win. Alekseeva is the +400, and Beatriz Mesquita is the -550. So I think the Mosquito is going to be able to be biting Alekseeva all night. You know, she's going to destroy her. Next fight of the night, we got Vitor Petrino taking on Thomas Petersen. And in this fight, we got Thomas Petersen, who's going to be trying to use the grappling, smother up Vitor Petrino against the cage, use the wrestling. But I think Vitor Petrino is going to be way too fucking strong, and I think he lands something big on the feet. I think he is going to put away Thomas Petersen. So I'm going Vitor Petrino to knock out Thomas Petersen in this one. I think he's going to be able to land something big. This could be an early finish. We could see it in the first round. He's just going to throw a big looping overhand shot, connect on the chin. I would assume first round finish, but maybe it could go a little bit later. Thomas Petersen might be able to delay the finish by like smothering up Vitor Petrino. But Petrino, I think he's going to be able to stop the takedowns of Thomas Petersen, and I think he's going to fucking crack him on the feet. The odds on this fight, we got Vitor Petrino sitting at a -310, and Thomas Petersen is the +260. So Petersen, decent underdog, and I don't think he's going to be able to win. So Vitor Petrino, I think, knocks out Thomas Petersen. I would assume first round finish. So that's the way I'm going to go. Next fight of the night, we got Rafael Filho taking on Clayton Carpenter. And this is another fight where I was kind of back and forth on. Clayton Carpenter, he's a dog. He comes in, he sits in the pocket, he comes forward, uses the wrestling. He's like a cockroach a little bit. He's just sitting in there. And then Rafael Filho, decent striker, I would say. He throws some explosive combinations, but at times he'd be fucking like looping shots and like bringing his chin straight up in the fucking air, which that I don't like that. But I am gonna go Filho to win the fight. I kind of see him being able to get the fight to the ground. Control Carpenter, but this is a close fight. Carpenter could do enough to win a decision, but I am going to go Filho to get it done. I think we could potentially see him tap out Clayton Carpenter. Filho, his last loss was to Alan Nascimento, where it was a pretty close decision, I would say, but Alan Nascimento was overall able to do the better work in that fight. And Clayton Carpenter lost that fight against Ulanbekov in his last one. But this is a pretty close fight. It could go either way, I'm not going to lie. But in my opinion, I think Filho is going to be able to get it done. I think he's going to be able to wrap up potentially a submission. I think his grappling's a little bit better. I like his jiu-jitsu. So I'm going the pastor to win the fight. The odds, we got Carpenter sitting at the minus 125, and Filho is the plus 105. And I do think Filho's going to win. Going to be a close fight. It is going to be a scary, close fight. Could kind of go either way. I don't know. But I'm going to go Filho. I think he's going to be able to sink into submission. I think his grappling is going to be too much for Clayton Carpenter. Next fight of the night, we got Lucas Almeida taking on Michael Aswell. Almeida just is coming off that split decision loss against Danny Silva. And Aswell is coming off the loss against Polastri, where he was having some decent moments in that fight. He was pushing the pace at times, connecting with some decent shots. And this is an interesting little style matchup. We got Lucas Almeida, who's going to have a little bit more range on Michael Aswell. He's going to be trying to keep the distance, use the straight shots, connect down the center with Michael Aswell. And Aswell is just going to be pushing the pace. He's going to be coming forward, pressing Lucas Almeida the whole night, trying to land some big shots. And I was very back and forth. I don't know. This is a different style matchup. Michael Aswell, he did look decent against Polastri. He had some good moments. But Lucas Almeida is a different style. He's more of a fucking lengthy distance striker. And it could potentially cause some problems for Michael Aswell. So, I've been wanting to go Almeida. I'm still a little undecided right now. But Michael Aswell, I do see him being able to push the pace of this fight. He's going to be coming forward, landing some big shots. But I don't know. This is a scary fight. Lucas Almeida, in that fight with Danny Silva, he was kind of just getting backed up against the cage the whole time. Danny Silva was able to squeeze out that decision, but it was close. I want to go Aswell, I think. I feel like Aswell's going to be able to push the pace and connect on Almeida. Almeida be pulling back a lot. He starts pulling straight back, and I think he could potentially get caught with something. So I'm going to go Aswell to get this one done. He kind of sitting down on his shots a little more, landing some bigger shots. And Lucas Almeida likes kind of running away. He likes using the straights, staying at the distance. Could that potentially be a problem for Aswell? Definitely. He could potentially lose on points to a decision. But I do think Aswell is going to be pressing the pace of this fight, and I think he's going to be coming forward on Lucas Almeida. So I'm going to go Aswell. I'm going to slightly lean Aswell in this fight. The odds on this fight, we got Aswell sitting at a minus 145, and Almeida is the plus 125. So this is going to be a decently close fight, but I do think Almeida is going to be able to. I think Almeida is going to lose the fight. Aswell, I think he's going to be able to come forward, land some bigger shots, land the cleaner shots, connect with the more significant strikes, and I think he's going to squeeze this win out. We could potentially see him catch Almeida with something big, or he could just maybe win a decision, but I don't know. I would kind of like a knockout win for Aswell. Next fight of the night, we got Ricardo Ramos taking on Ofli. And Ofli is nothing that impressive in my opinion. I'm not going to lie. I think Ofli doesn't throw enough. He's a little bit slower on the feet. I don't like his striking all that much. I would say Ricardo Ramos is the better all-around fighter. I think he's a little quicker on the feet. He's got more speed, and I think he's going to be cracking up Ofli on the feet. Ofli's going to be too small for him. I think the distance and the range is going to be a little bit of a problem, and I see Ricardo Ramos being able to dominate and probably lean and win towards a decision, I would say, but Ofli shouldn't win this fight. we got Ramos sitting at a minus 175, and Ofli is the plus 150. I do see Ricardo being able to get this fight done. I think he's going to land the better shots, land the cleaner combinations, and I see him winning the fight. Next fight of the night, we got Renato Diniz taking on Mario Pinto. And this is one of those fights where we got two fucking bangers, all right? We got two heavy hitters. Diniz kind of, I would say, uses slightly more counterpunching than Mario Pinto. Pinto kind of like stalking on his opponents, coming forward and looking for those big shots. But I'm going with Renato Diniz to win the fight. I think he's going to be able to land the better shots. I think he's going to be a little bit confusing for Mr. Pinto in this fight. I think Pinto's going to get caught with something. I like Diniz to win this fight. Diniz, we saw him just get a win over Alvin Hines, who Alvin Hines was coming from LFA. Not like that was that great of a win, but he absolutely was piecing him up. He was just landing a lot of big shots on the feet. And then before that, we saw him fucking lose to Marcin Tybura by that doctor stoppage right after he was getting fucking sliced with those big elbows from fucking full mount. Mario Pinto, we just saw him with Austin Lane, where he landed that devastating fucking right overhand knockout, flatline Lane. But at one point in that fight, we did see Lane land a little bit of a left hook, and then he was able to hit Pinto with a straight shot, and he did put him down for a second. So we've seen Pinto's chin get touched, and he's been put down before, so he's not unbeatable. He's able to get knocked out. Yeah, he's 10-0, and I think in this fight with Renato Diniz, he's going to be getting caught. And I see him potentially getting put out. I think Diniz is going to land something big. I'm going Diniz to win the fight. The odds on this fight, we got Renato Diniz sitting at a minus 128, and Mario Pinto is the plus 108. So decently close, but Mario Pinto is the slight underdog. And I see him losing the fight. I got to be honest. I do see him losing the fight. He could land something and put out Diniz. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to go Diniz to land the better shots. Next fight of the night, we got Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez. Easy fucking pick. Vicente Luque is old, okay? Joel Alvarez, up-and-coming guy. Too quick, too fast. Going to be landing some big shots on the feet. Even if the fight goes to the ground, I think he's going to be able to do just fine. But in this fight with Vicente Luque, I think Luque is getting fucking flatlined. I think Joel is going to be able to knock out Vicente Luque with a big shot. Luque is the plus 425, and Joel Alvarez is the minus 600. So, huge favorite for Joel Alvarez, and I think that's fair because he's going to fucking destroy Vicente Luque. Very easy pick. Alvarez all day. I think he finishes Luque quick. I would say first or second round. Now, on to the co-main event. We got Deiveson Figueiredo versus M.Jackson. This is an interesting fight. M.Jackson is going to have a lot of range and a lot of fucking distance on Deiveson Figueiredo. And I think that is going to be enough for him to win the fight. Deiveson Figueiredo, we're going to see him try to mix in the leg kicks. He's going to be chopping the trees of M.Jackson. So maybe those leg kicks could fuck up M.Jackson's movement. That could play a factor because M.Jackson's he's got a little bit skinny legs. I'm not going to lie. And Deiveson Figueiredo will be ripping those calf kicks. But I do think M.Jackson's going to be able to stay at the distance, probably squeeze out a fucking decision. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go decision win for M.Jackson, maybe a 29-28. We could see Deiveson Figueiredo pick up a round. And he's going to be sitting in there making it a fight. This is still a very close matchup. But I do think M.Jackson's going to be able to stay at the distance, land some decent shots on Figueiredo, and kind of just pepper him up, win a decently close, competitive decision. But I don't think Deiveson Figueiredo wins the fight. The odds on this fight, we got Figueiredo sitting at a plus 250, and M.Jackson is the minus 300. So M.Jackson, pretty decent favorite. And I do see him winning the fight. I think Figueiredo is going to be a little too small. Going to be trying to close the distance on M.Jackson, and I do see him potentially getting touched up on the feet, getting caught with some decent shots. M.Jackson should be able to squeeze out the decision win. Next fight of the night, we got Charles Oliveira taking on Matheus Gamrot. We're on to the main event. You know, as much as I want to go Oliveira and just fucking say, fuck it, don't lose hope yet, I can't. I'm going Gamrot. I think Gamrot's going to be able to control Oliveira. I think he's going to be pressing up Oliveira against the cage, using a lot of pressure. Yes, Oliveira's dangerous from the bottom. He's got a lot of submissions. He's going to be throwing up shit from his back. But I think Mateusz Gamrot's pressure is going to be too much for Oliveira. And I see Gamrot being able to win this fight. Do we see a fin? I don't know if I see him finishing. We could maybe see Gamrot finish Oliveira, but he's definitely going to pick up the win by at least a decision. I would say decision or submission in this fight for Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz Gamrot, I think he just comes forward on Oliveira the whole time, throws some shots in the feet, immediately shoots for the fucking double leg, gets the fight to the ground. The odds are even on this one. Oliveira is a -110. Gamrot is the -110 as well. So, even line. I do think Gamrot's going to be able to do enough. Oliveira, he's going to be trying to keep the distance on the feet, use that Muay Thai style striking, land some teep kicks, throw some leg kicks, throw some nice jabs. And who knows, he could be catching Gamrot on the feet, but I do think Gamrot's going to be able to get the fight to the ground. So I'm going Gamrot to win this fight. I think he's going to, what do I lean? Do I lean a decision? Oliveira's tough. No, I think Gamrot's going to be able to finish him. I'm going Mateusz Gamrot by finish. I think he subs Charles Oliveira, and I'm feeling the 4th round for some reason. So I'm going Mateusz Gamrot to submit Charles Oliveira in the 4th round. So those are my full card predictions for UFC Rio. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.